Money just changed everything. I wonder how life without it would go. From the concrete, who knew that a flower would grow? Looking down from the top and it's crowded below. My 15 minutes started an hour ago.
My name is Chantia Sulph.
And where are you from?
And I am from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Any family you know that's international, the most thing is, what are you doing right now? Are you in school? If you're not in school, you're not doing anything with your life. You're not being productive. And I think though your identity has to be concerned with school or what your career is, and it's not that way, because my identity is not just environmental health. I feel like there's other sorts of things that I could possibly put my life into, you know, that identifies with me. But with my family, it's so hard, because it's like, if you're not doing anything career-wise, as in trying to make money or trying to, you know, adapt to this American society, you're not really, you know, doing much with your life. It's like the perfect balance between environmental science and public health. It has a little bit of every aspect of health you can think about, sort of like you being in the surgery table to being like into the soil and how it can interrupt our food and bring toxins into what we eat, what we drink, and into what we breathe. With air, with water pollution, with trash and soil erosion, it's so much going on. It's like a constant conversation in my major and in other majors. So in my major of like environmental health, I can relate to a girl that's in pre-med or a guy that's in engineering, because we all deal with the same things when it comes to the environment. Like for an engineer, different types of toxins can erode something that they build, like buildings and things like that. What is a very emerging thing, I would say, our water pollution. Because of the way we dispose of our trash and the way we dispose of everything that we have in our like day-to-day life, we're coming up with more toxins and more contaminants in our water sources. As United States, we take it for granted that we have clean water, but in times go on, we're not going to have clean water due to the fact that we don't have a system that's big enough to clean all of our trash, all of our waste. And without water, we can't grow food, or we can't stay alive, and that's really important. It's unfair that I have the privilege of having clean water, having, you know, just resources, and other people don't have that from day to day. So I want to give back and use my education to promote other communities with clean water, with, you know, food and renewable resources, so that they can, you know, thrive through life too. I really want to do global health. I have a big, broad idea on life. I don't have like a small smidge of an idea what I want to do, but I do have a big, broad idea. So I'm thinking of going towards global health. So I'm thinking like a master's or a doctorate in public health, and then going overseas to find water systems, to find cures to certain diseases, and to really help other nations and other communities build. Because if we can all come on one accord, I feel like it'd be a better world for everyone. I think it's going to get 10 times like worse by the time we have children, or our children have children. So we're not leaving a world where they can really breathe or really live on, due to the fact that we don't care about our trash.
I keep having the same dream, and I think that I just realized what it means. All I see is fireworks.
I ended up staying with a friend of mine who's French for about a month during the summertime when I was 19. And we would go through hard times with money, not being able to put food on the table because his mom was out of the country. So he would say, "C'est la vie," and I'd be like, "What is that? What does that mean?" And he'll always be rushing around, so he'll never tell me. So one night, finally, he told me what "C'est la vie" meant, and I was like, "Yo, that's dope." I'm getting it tatted the next day, and he didn't believe me, so I got it tatted. And basically, what "C'est la vie" means is like, that's life. Like, through all our trials that summer, we got through it, and we were able to make things happen. So for all of us in life who go through things, you know, sometimes it's just meant to be that you can't control it. The identity issues with dating has been the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with. It's like, first of all, my background, my parents are immigrants, so they're Jamaican, and my father wasn't in the household. So I had to deal with a lot of what I wanted to date, who I wanted to date, you know, what I wanted to be around. And I found a lot of my values and my morals in just, you know, sitting down and meditating and doing most of the things that I like to do. And, you know, sometimes, you know, endorsing myself or engrossing myself in just my heritage and my tradition kind of helps too. I'm kind of sort of a perfectionist, so I always want to strive for the best, do my best. And sometimes when it doesn't work, I kind of break down. And those small breakdowns kind of, you know, have me thinking that maybe doubtful, more so less prideful, insecure, I can't think of nothing. I honestly can't think of nothing. But for the death of me, all I can think about is being my true self in everything I do and pushing at it. Because like that's all you really can do. I mean, you live for yourself. No one can really live for you. So as an upcoming leader in my own community, I think in being my true self instead of my own true light to everyone that I'm around is like the best thing I can do and the best thing I can live by, I suppose. Identity and what validates me is the biggest problem as a black woman. And it goes through my relationships, friendships, dating, even with the relationship with my mother, because she deals with the same. So it's kind of a big thing in our community, especially when you come from another country.
And if there was any advice you can give to a young black girl, what would you give it?
Don't let anyone tell you who you are. Like, for real, like, don't question it. Especially if you know it ain't true. Don't even let them, confuse you on who you are. Like, be still and be, like, confident in your own abilities. That's, like, the most important thing. Because once you have that, and once you know who you are, that's just half the battle. And make sure you're doing something that you're passionate about. Because you won't have to wake up every morning, hating what you're doing. You'll live life fully for what you're doing and for others.
And if there was any advice you can give to a young black girl, what would you give it?
Don't let anyone tell you who you are.